up, nerds? My name is Leslie Smith. Welcome to the Nerdy Narrative. Today I am going to do the end of the year book tag. This is a tag that has floated around this little corner of YouTube for years and years, and it's just a fun way for us to talk about and for me to actually think about the rest of the year. I saw my friend Angela over at Literature Science Alliance do this tag last week, and I thought, oh, it is that time of year already. So let's just jump right into the prompts. Prompt number 1. Are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? I am so excited to have an answer for this prompt this year. I typically don't have an answer, or it's just whatever book I happen to be reading right then because I never carry books over. This year, everything has gone sideways for me. I need to finish this collection of nonfiction essays by Zora Neale Hurston called You Don't Know Us Negroes. My friend Evie gifted this book to me at the end of 2021. I started this one sometime in 2022. I've picked it back up recently and have just gotten deep off into Zora Neale Hurston's works again. So a huge thank you to Evie for reigniting the love that I have for this author and her work. She also sent me another collection. It's a collection of Zora's letters that I'm going to be getting into, but I wanted to finish this one first. I was like, you cannot start a new one until you finish this one. And I'm making really good progress. I'm trying to read at least one essay a day. Some of them are really long, so I'm breaking them up into 2 days. But this one is going to be finished before this year is over. Prompt number 2. Do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? As a matter of fact, I do. I have here Travis Baldrey's Legends and Lattes, which is being marketed as a cozy fantasy. This will be my first cozy. I've never read a cozy fantasy before. I've actually, to my knowledge, haven't read a cozy mystery either, which I'm going to rectify next year. 2024 cozy mysteries are going on my TBR. But I'm excited to read this one. I believe it has to do with orcs working in a coffee shop, soft magic, just cozy vibes. I'm here for it. This one had so much hype around it for the longest time that it kind of drove me away from wanting to read it. But then I was at Barnes & Noble one day going after a book, and they didn't have that book, and I walked by and saw this one with this beautiful deckled edges, and I thought, I must have you. So I'm going to be reading this one, and if I love it, I'm going to follow up with its sequel in November and just keep those cozy vibes going. Prompt number 3 asks, is there a new release you're still excited for? I have a 2-for-1 special for this prompt. The first one that I'm very excited looking forward to is The Mystery Guest by Nita Prose. This is the sequel to her murder mystery, The Maid, which features a main character named Molly who's neurodivergent. I love Molly so much. I have a lot in common with Molly, actually. She is big into cleaning. In fact, she is a maid for a very high-end luxury hotel, and she loves to clean. She learned that from her grandmother who raised her, and they did different cleaning chores on different days, which is what I do. I love to divide it up and just kind of keep my house in a constant state of cleaning. And dividing it up like that means I spend maybe 20-30 minutes a day cleaning rather than 4 hours, which also means because I'm splitting it up, I'm least likely to cut corners and do a better job. And so I loved feeling seen. I loved having a character that did that too. I just loved the character of Molly. I just loved how the author wrote this main character, how blunt that she was. She did not pick up on sarcasm or innuendos. She just said it like it was, and her heart was on her sleeve, and it was just such a good book. So very excited for The Mystery Guest. Another one that I'm excited for is the 3rd book in Kevin Hearn's trilogy, The Seven Kennings. A Curse for Krakens is going to be coming out very soon. I can't remember if it's the beginning of November or the end. This will conclude his fantasy series, the one that begins with A Plague of Giants, which I do have what I think is a wonderful review of this book, which I'll have in the cards for you. And this one is followed by A Curse of Black Wings. These covers are just amazing, so I can't wait to get a hold of this one. While I'm excited that A Curse for Krakens is coming out in 2023, I don't know if I'll get it read before the end of the year. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Prompt number 4 asks, what are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? See previous 2 prompts. Moving on into the next prompt. Is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? No. At least not unless I break down favorite book of the year by genre. I read many, many genres, and right now the number one spot of book of the year is still Buzzard's Bowl by John Palladino, which is a grim, dark fantasy novel. I don't see any fantasy novel coming for this one, and honestly, no other book that I've read this year has gotten quite on that S tier yet. Since I already know the books that I'm for sure going to be reading for the rest of the year, I just don't see any of those coming for Buzzard's Bowl. I mean, it could happen. I'm not going to say never, but I just don't think so. And then the final prompt, if you've been around this channel for a while, you already know the answer to this one, but it asks, have you already started making plans for next year? I've already got next year planned and the year after that and started on the year after that. Y'all already knew before I even finished reading that question what the answer to that one was. But those are all of the prompts for the end of the year book tag. The thing that I like about this tag the most is it's sort of a reminder of, hey, do you have some things you need to get finished? Or hey, go look at your TBR and see some new releases you got coming out that you might have forgot were coming out. It's also a boot to the tail saying, hey, if you haven't already got your plans started for next year, you better get working on it. So I hope you enjoyed this tag. Thank you all so much for spending a little bit of your time with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, if you enjoy videos like this one. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next one.